All right. Now, worst line. Look, it was not a good night for Hillary Clinton. So when we talk about worst line, we've got two candidates from Hillary Clinton here. It's going to be video 4 and video 9. Let's go to 4 first.
This is not easy for me. It's not easy to do what I think is right, to help people, to even the odds, to hear a story like the woman's story we just heard, and to know that I can make a difference, and I want to in every way possible. I am not a natural politician, in case you haven't noticed, like my husband or President Obama.
I'm not a natural politician. Come on, Hillary. Come on, right? The person who waits to flip-flop when it's convenient. I'm for the TPP. I'm against the TPP. I'm, against same-sex marriage. I'm for same-sex marriage. Which way are the polls going? I have all of these donors, the drug companies, the Wall Street companies, the fossil fuel companies, and I go give speeches for hundreds of thousands of dollars to the same people who are my benefactors. I'm not a natural politician.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a bad answer by itself, but it's also a worse answer when you consider that the question was, you say people think you're untrustworthy because you get attacked all the time, but people have also had about 30 years of getting to know you. It's not easy helping people and helping that woman, and I help a lot of people. It's not easy. It's not. That has nothing to do. I don't even necessarily know that the question is really fair. I mean, the framing is a little bit weird. How do you possibly respond to that? But that isn't the way that you respond to it.
No, look, an honest answer that also would have been aggressive, and a great answer would have been, yeah, Fox News and Republicans have been attacking me for 30 years because they know I'd kick their ass, right? They know that I fight for you guys. They knew that when I was doing Hillary Care before Obamacare, a line she used in another part of the debate. They knew that I am the real progressive and then I can bring you real change. That's what they're afraid of. That's why they've been smearing me for 30 years. That's a great answer and a fair answer from Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
But not the one she gave.
I agree. I don't know what was going through her mind during this debate. I feel like, look, she was hit with really difficult, challenging questions and follow-up questions. And honestly, to this point, I feel like she hasn't had to deal with much of that. So maybe she came into this debate expecting the same old, and she got the exact opposite, right? But she had very bad answers, and she was also very low energy, right?
Yes.
Not to take Trump's phrasing of candidates.
Yeah,
but
sorry about that.
yeah, I apologize. But, it seemed like she wasn't on her A game. She seemed tired, and then at times she seemed angry and frustrated. It just wasn't good all around.
So there's some validity to what you're saying, I think, because, first of all, there's a lot of validity to what you're saying, but I got the same sense as what I meant, because Bernie Sanders has already had tough questions, debate in, debate out. Aren't you a socialist? How are you going to pay for it? I mean, they've been hammering him in every forum.
Right.
So he's used to it. Whereas she's used to the Benghazi questions, the email questions. But when they got to, hey, wait a minute now, you said you wanted to deport the Latino kids that had come in. She wasn't used to getting that kind of tough question and a follow-up and a follow-up. She's been around a long time and she's used to softball.
Yeah.
They don't do follow-ups with Hillary Clinton very often, right? Unless it's about the stupid emails, right? So I think she got thrown off her game by Sanders' aggressiveness and the level of questioning, which she hasn't had up until now.
Right, and also let me add one more thing to that. Look, I haven't looked at the polls, so maybe John can tell me this, but there's this widespread thought that Hillary is very popular among Latino voters, right? So I think she thought, all right, I'm just going to be debating in my own house. Like, these are people that support me. These are people that love me. They probably prefer me over Bernie, so it's probably going to be fine. I don't know. Maybe she underestimated how difficult this was going to be.
Yeah, it could be. So one more line for you guys that in the category of, that didn't work.
And by the way, everybody who, quote, got money in the, quote, bailout that also included money for the auto rescue has paid it back. So the Treasury was out nothing. Now that will no longer happen because we have Dodd-Frank, and we will break up banks that pose a systemic threat to our economy.
When you say people who got, quote, money, but that's what they got. There's no need for the quotes. From the, quote, bailout, well, that's what it was. You've already framed it in a way that you're over the top defending the Wall Street bailout. And then you say, oh, they paid it back and stuff. Look, you might be able to make that case. I would actually make an excellent case against that, given how much money they got from the federal Reserve, given the 0% interest rates, given the backdoor bailout of Goldman Sachs through AIG. I mean, believe me, I can do my thesis on how we didn't really get paid back.
Quantitative easing.
Right, all of that. But even if you were right on that issue and I was wrong, it doesn't play well. For you to defend the Wall Street bailouts and the bankers saying, oh, don't worry, they kind of gave us the money back in the middle of a Democratic debate, not a winning line.
I wish that he would push harder. I didn't notice when she first said that. All of the early stuff was really bad. I didn't notice at the end what she said. Now that we've got Dodd-Frank to stop the banks from being too big to fail.
Ridiculous.
So the banks were too big to fail then. They're bigger now. I don't understand what she thinks she's saying or why he isn't attacked. She honestly thinks that the whole point of that is, oh, well, if they are a day away from crashing the economy, now we can cut them down to size. No, that still results in a ruined economy. The only time that it can be manageable to do something as large as breaking up some of the largest corporations in the country is to do it when you're not on the brink of recession, which means starting now.
I guarantee you that if they actually do falter, they'll say, well, now it's too late. I mean, we have to rescue them. Otherwise, the whole global economy is going to be in trouble. I mean, we'll be tough on them, though. This time around, though, after the rescue, we're going to be really tough. So John's absolutely right. If you're going to do something, now is the time. After the crash doesn't help us that much.